a miner or a builder. Furthermore, and that's important, we have an adjustment mechanism here at work. Because if, say, in a particular type of activity there is not much offer for non-basic work, if, say, there are not many people who would like to do extra work in the production of mobiles again, then that means that this would be reflected in the price of mobile. The price of mobile will go up as production of mobile would fall. Therefore, as the price of mobile will go up, the rate of remuneration will go up, and this could attract more workers in the production of mobiles. So that's in a nutshell how this model of economic democracy works. But as I said from the beginning, this is just a proposal to show that it is feasible to have a different kind of society, meeting the basic needs of all citizens and at the same time meeting the demand for freedom of choice. And it is, of course, up to the General Assemblies of the future to decide what exactly the form of their society should be. Finally, the question, which is of course a crucial question that we have to consider, is how we move towards an inclusive democracy. That is, how we envisage a transitional strategy towards this sort of society. I think that the basic principle that should guide our steps is that means should be consistent with ends. Therefore, we need a new type of political organization that would secure the meeting of the basic demands of direct democracy. Therefore, that rules out any kind of avant-garde and hierarchical political parties and so on. And what we need instead is a new movement, a new kind of mass movement that would be based on autonomous, more or less, organizations that could be confederated, of course, that would start building institutions of inclusive democracy in their own areas. In other words, I can see the transition towards an inclusive democracy using two sorts of tactics, or if you like, strategies. On the one hand, the usual defensive strategy of the left, which means taking part in struggles of the working class, of people in general, against the attacks of neoliberal globalization. But this is only one part of the struggle, as far as I can see. The other equally important, if not even more important, part of the struggle is the positive one, is the one involving building alternative institutions within the present society. In fact, this process has already started. That is, you can see all over the place co-ops being established by various groups, communes and so on, the LETS schemes in Anglo-Saxon countries whereby unemployed people particularly avoid the use of money and can exchange directly their services with other services. So there are all sorts of schemes going on, similar schemes going on at the moment. The problem is that all those schemes are not part of a comprehensive political program for political change. For this, I would have no hesitation, even if these groups, these teams of people who have started installing these alternative institutions take part in local elections. In other words, if they take part in local elections in the sense of including the democracy program, or generally a program for a comprehensive type of democracy, and this presupposes that it has become already massive in the sense that the movement has already a significant appeal to the people, then if they win the local elections, they have a perfect opportunity to apply, to implement at a local level the principles of inclusive democracy. In other words, they will take local power in order to abolish it, if you like, the next day, in the sense that once they take local power, they take over local power, then from the next day on they will start organizing people in neighborhood assemblies to take over instead of the usual council, the usual municipalist council and so on. The importance of the transitional strategy of the Inclusive Democracy Project is that the new society would not be established at all unless the majority of the population has already subscribed to this project, unless, in other words, they have already adopted using the institutions in practice, using the institutions, the alternative institutions in practice, and getting the democratic conscience, unless the majority has already been persuaded in a new society of this type, the society will not come about. When the moment comes that the power from below, this power that has started from below, is more powerful than the power of the normal authorities, in other words, capitalist, the state, and so on, then after a period of tension between the state and the capitalist elite on the one hand, and the people self-organized in this way on the other, then you could expect that you could have a transition which may or may not be violent. That is, it would be violent, of course, if the elites, as it is possible, attack these sorts of experiments using various forms of force, and force may not be physical force, even economic force may sometimes be enough, but it may not be violent. That is, it all depends, of course, on the balance of power at the moment of the transition.